G'day guys, Carl from HGT Happy Go Travel. Today we're going to be doing something that we've been talking about for a while. We're going to be coming up with a solution for this rear bumper. So every time I go forward driving, I end up dragging the bumper on the ground. The scratches on the bumper don't worry me, but what happens is it loads the corner up and then it pops it off and then it just peels off and tears off. So I originally wanted to put a steel bar on a wheel carrier. Then I started thinking about custom options. So I figure if I cut this and it doesn't work, then I'll go down that route. We need to come up with a solution because we can't rip this off every time. It's just no good. So you can see that's pretty much where I dragged the bumper on the ground. What my initial thoughts were is I was just going to cut it off the whole way, similar to like a tray chop. But behind this panel here, it turns out there's actually body behind it. Yeah, so what my idea is I want to get the tow bar exposed, or the back part of the chassis. So when I do go up them steep climbs, into them steep things, I'm hoping that that'll hit the ground prior to the bumper, and that'll be what saves me. So we need to bolt this back on. We need to get that tidied. What I think I'll do, I think we'll run the initial cut. We'll cut the corners. We'll cut these corners. Then we might bring that back down, probably through to this black piece, and then we'll cut this black piece out, cut across there. That should expose a bit of the tow bar, and then we'll be able to work out what to do from there. All right, so I'm just going to use this blue tape, just this blue masking tape, and mark it out. I did have a go at this the other day, but ran out of time. So we'll mark it out, we'll have a look at it, we'll check the way it sits, what we need to cut, and then we'll go from there. So I am using the corner of this, I will call it a light mount, but it's not really a light, there's no light in there, it's like a reflector. We have to remove this black plastic trim, so then we can see what we're actually looking at, and then we can decide how we're gonna do it. Alright, so I just pulled that little reflector out. Well, that bumper has nothing for protection anyway. But yeah, it just shows you what's actually back there. We can definitely gain some clearance out of there, but yeah, not as much as what I sort of was hoping for. But we won't know until we cut it. Well, so my initial thoughts was to go straight across, and I think that's probably where we will end up. But we might come down to this one first, and we'll cut across there. And hopefully that just won't leave the bumper too exposed, too hanging. We'll measure it up, we'll mark it out, then we'll have a look at it again. So, I'm a little bit concerned it's going to look a bit silly cutting the corners out of it. At the end of the day, looking silly versus tearing this damn bumper off every time I go off-road, I'm going to take a chance on it. So the worst thing that happens here is I stuff it up and I have to buy a rear bar. So I can live with that. If I stuff it up, I'll probably get a custom bar anyway, so that's cool. These black panels, little, I suppose you call them like a splash guard panel. What I'm going to do, I'll pull that bolt out. I'm actually going to drop them down so I don't cut them, because I'll try and jig them up so that they stay in there, so that I can fit them in to keep the mud out. But we'll see how we go with that. Going to have to move the air lines for the airbags. That's cool. We'll pull them out, we'll see where we go. We'll find a place for them. These pipes here, so this is definitely is the air conditioner for the rear. So we just got to be mindful of that. But we shouldn't be cutting into any body parts, and it's going to be no more exposed than what it already is. So we'll see how we go. With the black trims removed, you can see it's definitely going to look a bit higher. Tyre's going to be a bit more exposed, hanging out a bit, but that's just part of it, I suppose. And whilst I don't like that look, it's going to be a trade-off, I guess. So this black plastic paneling here for the tow bar, I've smashed the clips off that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drill some holes through it, and I'll just put some Steno bolts in it and just bolt it all in, and hopefully that'll give the bumper some rigidity, I think they call it. Tow bar plug, we're going to flick that over, put it on top. Once we've got that trimmed up, it'll look a bit better anyway. We'll just see how we go once we've cut her up. Perfect. So to get the pinch weld, we just need to cut this lip as well. I don't know if you can see that on the back of the bumper. So this little splash guard flashing, we'll cut that, trim that as well, because what we'll do is we'll put a bracket on that and bolt it back into the back. So there's a few more things I've got to deal with on this side. And so this wire here is for my brake controller. And obviously you can see I've already hit this panel where the airline goes in. So we'll get this airline out and then we'll find a new spot for that. We'll clean this back panel up, we'll paint that. We might secure them, we'll secure the bumper to the little bit of a splash guard inner guard that we cut. And then we'll lock that up and we'll bolt that up in there. So it should be all right, should be a good thing. So just clean it up. We'll get some bed armour. So anything under here that's still white, I'm just going to spray that. And this sort of rubberised paint will just keep it black and just hopefully have it blend in. The last bit of cutting, I was going to bolt this on first, but I'll just hold it and cut it. So we just need to trim this guard up. Alright, so this black plastic piece goes over the factory tow bar. So as you see, mine was broken. So that's where that's where it mounted anyway. So what I did, just drilled holes from the other side. And what we'll do is we'll just put some Stano button head bolts on it, and then that'll just sit on it hopefully and just make it look a bit clean. Little trick for those who haven't seen it before. So because I'm going to be working in a tight space, I'm just going to tape this nut to the spanner and stick it where it needs to go. and then hopefully we'll be able to screw this in. Righto. So I had an idea late last night. Someone's going to finish this off, but I'll go through what I didn't film. Got these bolts in. Should have bought longer bolts, but that just holds this black piece in. Now, you see the bumpers flapping around. So what I need to do is secure this to the mounting points on the tow bar, and then it'll be solid. I was looking at it today with a mate, and I am really tempted just to cut along there and have it go across and come across the whole way. Anyway, the reason I haven't cut it all the way across is because these tabs will secure it in place. And what I did also, I put the air lines for my airbags, I just put them on them tabs. So that sort of solved the problem for me. So I haven't ruled out cutting it across there yet, but for the time being, I think we'll leave it how it is. We'll give it a run, we'll see if it works, and then we'll decide what to do from there. So them mounts in there, we're gonna put a few bolts in. The clips that I went and got from Toyota yesterday were no good, so we'll bolt them up. All right, so now I've bolted the bar, so it's nice and rigid now. So that should hopefully stay like that. As long as we don't hit it, it should be perfect. I will just show you how the bumper sits. So that's the back of the bumper. That's the bit I painted black yesterday. Airbag line, that's the bottom of the tow bar there. So as you can see, the way I've cut this bumper, there's not a lot that actually sticks out beyond the tow bar. So admittedly, if I did cut it through there, you'd see the whole tow bar, but because the spare tyre hangs down so low and there's still things going on down here like wiring harness for the tow bar, etc. I just don't think I'm going to gain any real value by cutting it out. So that sits lower, the spare tyre will hit, if I hit around here, so realistically the tyre's going to drag before anything else. So that's why I went, you know what, it's just these corners we need to fix. So what I decided last night, when I was looking at these recovery points, I decided that I'm going to get a bigger one and beef it up. So what I did today, I slipped down to All Terrain Industries and I went and got a set of 10mm recovery points. Now I don't know what these are for, I will find out though. We'll bolt on to the back of the tow bar where the tie down point is, and it should sit in there nicely and finish it off nicely. So let's bolt it all back together and we'll see how we go. I'll give you the hot tip on them recovery points. They're under $100. So if you're interested in a set, check them out. All Terrain Industries. I think that'll be a good thing. Roughly how much bumper I cut out. See that? It's pretty bloody close to working. For me, I'd still hit the corners, but for most people, it's a pretty cool little mod for not a lot of money. So check them out. One other thing we need to do too, this bit of metal in the backyard, I'm going to belt that and just fold it up so it's out of the way. Let's be realistic, it wouldn't be one of my projects if it wasn't me hitting something with a hammer. I'm pretty sure you guys are used to watching me hit my car with a hammer now. Tucked up out of the way, and then when you look across from the bumper, no longer hangs down. Well, there you have it. That's job done. So bumper cut, recovery points. Hopefully that'll work with keeping my bumper on. I know bumper cut won't be to everyone's taste. I'd like to hear your thoughts, so comment below. Let me know what you think about it. Just remember, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, guys, go travel.